Okay, so hopefully they can find me from here, because this is just what we're gonna have to be tonight. I'm through fighting with the computer. Computer wins. Computer wins. So let me refresh this so I can turn that on. Now that we're in, and hopefully everybody finds me, because I really have taken all I can take with the computers tonight. I cannot. I don't know why computers don't like me. They do that to everybody. Okay, now y'all can hear me. Kimberly Day, Deborah Randall, Makeup Addict. Hey now, I feel so much better that y'all can hear what I'm talking about, because I know y'all couldn't hear me before. Bianca is back in the house. DS, Zeline, Teresa. Hey y'all, hit the like button. Come on in, get comfortable. I am so sorry we had to fight with this thing. I hate computers and they hate me back. Delicia Dismuke. Hey girl. Hey the Lauren Brown. Iron Butterfly. What's going on? Yeah, we on the vertical tonight, because I can't make the computer do what it need to do. And we got to talk about these people, and I ain't got time to worry about them. Ian McKinney, how you doing? Hey Sanji. You thought you was the only one couldn't hear me? No, girl. It's me over here being remedial with this laptop. Hey, Shine Bright. Hey, Antoinette. Hey, Michelle Montague. Okay. Carrie Clark is in the house. Hey, now. That's right. Everybody coming on in. Fatima. Hey, gorgeous. Thank you for being number 5, Teresa. Thank you for being number 4, Deborah. Listen, we gonna skate past the housekeeping tonight, because we got in here way too late. We a whole hour late, but we still gonna talk about these people. Hey, Vicky Black. Thank you for being number 3, Carrie. Thank you for being 5, Vicky. Anybody else that we lost along the way, y'all know I didn't mean to lose you, but technical difficulties are just what they are. Okay, Lord. Ian McKinney said, I don't like picking on the homeless, but but I'm giggling tonight. Sorry, Kelly. Girl, we ain't picking at her. She ain't had no business lying. Fatima, tell them again. Bubbles, honey. Y'all, don't forget your engagement button on the bottom right hand side. Hit it. Send up my bubbles, because I need them. Okay, and hopefully this will let people know we live, since we had so much trouble launching tonight. Adrian Marie, hey now. You don't see the like button? All you got to do is double tap the screen or hit the 3 buttons at the top and hit like. Hey, 66 Seattle. This here, Midgeville is crazy. It's over. My grandma raises me to turn everything off when it's storming. I know that's right. Pink Pilates Princess says she's number 17, 15, and 33. Thank you for liking the lives as many times as I had to come back. Cheryl, Miss Liberian Kind Pepper is here. Hit the like button, girl. The storm in Midgeville is over. Okay, Lauren Brown. Yeah, we staying on the vertical, honey, because the computer don't like me. So I need time to try to figure out why it don't like me. And then we'll fix that later. But for now, we going to talk about what's going on. Brooklyn Queen for you. Thank you for being number 17. Sean, what's going on, nephew? I did have a good weekend. You watching the UFC fights at the White House? Oh, okay, okay. You hear it. Thank you. Send up the bubbles, Lady Rowe. How you doing? Thank you for being 64. Auntie Eva's 24. Adrian, thank you for being 19. Nap Queen, New Orleans. Love you, sis. Thank you for being 21. Priscilla Clemens is 28. Man, I appreciate you. Listen, hey, Miss Lovely T, how you doing? Thank you for being 38. So look, we gonna get right into it. We got about a good 5 pages of notes. Fatima say 73 eyes, 38 likes. I need them likes to match them eyes. Thank you. Respect the host. Respect the host. Respect my mods. That we have such beautiful ladies here to moderate for you, and they're here to keep the chat safe for you and me. So show love to our moderators. I appreciate any and all love and support. God bless you. But we gonna get into it tonight. Hold on. Hold on. What am I doing? I wanted to, I wanted to, give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. What's I'm doing? Oh, oh. Linnell, Siler, thank you for being 39. So yeah, we got about 5 pages. Thank you, Kimberly. We got about 5 pages of notes. It took me longer to get the notes together tonight. It was a little bit of it was a couple of little tough spots on tonight's episode for me. Some of y'all can imagine why. It was a little rough watching Angela go through with the whole grieving of her mother and everything. It brought back some stuff. It was a little triggering for me. I'll be honest. It was a little triggering. I ain't get triggered like Porsha got triggered, but I did get a little triggered. It was a little triggering. It really was watching that. So it kind of took me a little minute to get myself together anyway, you know. And then we do have less pages of notes because there were some Pinky scenes, and you know, anytime it's scenes with Pinky, it's dry, and I ain't writing that much. It's just nothing to talk about. Symmetry, hey, I'm glad you made it. Hit the like button, y'all. Run me up. Makeup Addict says, sadly, I can relate to Angela. I cried with her. Losing a mom is, whew. Well, I did not cry. I was tempted to. I had the urge, but the beat goes on. Lisa Triggs, thank you for being number 40. Yvette, our Birmingham beauty, all the way from Birmingham, UK. Our sis is here. She's like number 49. Make sure that y'all double tap the screen, hit your like button. Yvette, the girl, they took your crown. All right. DS is in the house. She's here to run that reflection corner because you know she ain't gonna act right. Y'all know it ain't in her. It ain't in her to act right. Adrian, you lost your mama in 2020 and still hurt. Oh yeah. Yeah, you never really get over that. You never get over that. I don't care what nobody says. You get stronger, but you don't really get no better. Because, I mean, how you going to get better? You know, you get one mama, and as we all know, ain't nothing like mama. There's nothing like mama in your life. So it's just one of those things, okay? So let's get into these notes. Miss Red is here. Hey, Miss Red. So yeah, let's get into it. This episode, in my opinion, wasn't bad. I actually enjoyed the fact, personally, I enjoyed the fact that there was a nice little moment where the ladies just acted like regular women. It wasn't, nobody got messy. They were able to be there to be supportive to Angela without making it messy, without doing way too much. So I absolutely appreciate that. I absolutely appreciate that. I think that was pretty awesome, to be honest. So, you know, other than that, everything else was everything. But let's get into these notes. Y'all know, misspell your cuss words. Be kind to everybody. If it's your first time hanging with us, make sure you put FTL for first time live so we can welcome you personally and individually, because we are indeed happy to have you here. Okay. Anybody who wants to, you know, support the live stream, I pinned the Cash App at the bottom of the stream so you can grab it if you need it. You do not have to. We don't do that over here. You know, show love if you can, if you want to. What I do absolutely have to have from you is a like. And I need my bubbles. And I don't see them. So I need y'all to, you know, send my bubbles up. I need bubbles. Okay. So make sure you do that if you want to support the stream monetarily. Cool. If you ain't got it, all I need is good energy. I need comments. Misspell your cuss words. Let us know if it's your first time here. Make sure everybody's being kind to everybody. And remember that your fave might not be somebody else's and vice versa. So make sure you govern yourselves accordingly. Thank y'all for my bubbles. Now, let's get into it. This episode, hey Rick, hey Wicked, this is the right one. You in the right stream. So let's get into this thing. So this episode, y'all, starts off with Shamea over at Cynthia's house. Okay? Now, I'm going to tell y'all why this scene was funny. In hindsight, it's even funnier. But I'm going to tell y'all why this scene is funny. Okay, Anna Philson, hey boo, thank you for being number 64. This scene was funny because this is virtually the only time anybody really was discussing Shamea's party. And that's what made it funny. That's what really tickled me about this whole scene. It's the fact that she made a grand production of only inviting the Loser Alliance plus Cynthia and Phaedra. That's what made it so funny. She made a grand production of it, and I'm not going to invite Porsha. I'm not inviting Angela. I'm not going to invite Drew. And And thus and so, like this was going to be the event of the century. It was going to be something to talk about for the ages. And that is not what happened. The party looked dry as graham crackers and dust. There was nothing going on at this party. The people looked very nice. They looked like really nice, sweet people and everything. But that party would look dry as hell. Wasn't nothing going on at that doggone party. And then on top of that, she sat there and instead of enjoying herself at the party, it wasn't lit, it wasn't turned, it wasn't any of the little terms that the children use now. It was none of those things. And she spent her time not only being miserable, looking goofy while Kelli flirted at her husband. And we gonna talk about that again tonight. Oh yes, we are. The fact that Kelli living in her townhouse. If y'all think I ain't talking about it, you don't know me. We gonna talk about that. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. We're going to talk about it. Okay? And instead of her enjoying herself, being turned, having fun, Kelli getting drunk, flirting with your husband, and she's sitting up there talking about Angela. You didn't invite Angela, but you spent your time talking about Angela at your fabulous party that was going to be the event of the millennia that absolutely was not. So she over at Sin House, they talking about the party. Cynthia like, oh, you recovered from the party? Cynthia, you need to stop. Now, I know Cynthia try to be nice to everybody. Right, Symmetry. Ain't it a mess? It's the fact that you talking about that she recovered from the party. Recover from what? Recover from what? Cynthia trying to be nice sometimes makes me tired. Tracy Lashley, thank you for being like number 70. I appreciate y'all. Keep running my likes up. But it's the fact that she sat there talking about, did you recover from it? It was like a party at a rest home or assisted living facility. There was nothing, I mean, absolutely nothing going on at all at that party. Okay. So they talked about that briefly. They didn't even have a long conversation about it. And it was funny because Cynthia was like, well, you know, Shamea is normally a good time, but she wasn't no good time in Dallas. But she felt like she at least owed it to her to give her a conversation and see where she coming from and try to, you know, make it all right. Okay? Yes, Zelene, Shamea is letting Kelli live in her townhouse. We're going to get into that. I promise you we are. So they talked about that and everything, and she's still lying on Angela. Oh, Angela came for my marriage. I just, you know, people like Shamea make me nervous because she sat there. You brought up Angela's husband and her marriage. You said that man leave home and don't come back till late at night. That's what Shamea said. We all heard her. Put a 1 in the chat if you heard her say this. And so Angela returned fire and said, you say my husband leave home and don't come home till late. You leave home and don't come home till late. Angela didn't say your marriage is fake. She didn't say your marriage is miserable. She didn't say that your husband getting ready to leave you. She didn't say that he make you sleep under the bed at night because he don't like you. She said you leave home and don't come home till late, in rebuttal to Shamea telling her that her husband leave home and don't come home till late. And then you told her, well, just try to keep him home. As though her husband running the street and finna run off on her. That's what you said, right? Then Angela let her know, hey, I heard that you out here dealing coochie. Now I don't know a nicer way to say it, y'all. I'm trying to keep it, you know, clean. But that's basically what happened. Angela didn't talk about your marriage. She didn't run your marriage in the ground. She didn't talk about the fact that when people say your husband owe taxes and stuff like that, because mind you, that would have been messy. Angela really didn't talk about Shamea's husband. Now, he did catch her straight when she said that man looked like Sasquatch in the face. She basically called Mr. Gerald ugly. Now, I'm not going to sit up here and say Mr. Gerald is attractive, but I will say Mr. Gerald seems like a very nice man who loves his wife and does not want to be on television. So I do feel bad that Mr. Gerald caught a stray and all he did was marry a foolish woman. Hey, Jay is a gym mate. Thank you for being 78. Say, what happens? I was number 3. Shamea projects she's the worst. She's absolutely the worst. So Angela telling you about you letting your cat spread like the rainbow is not coming for your marriage. She came for your coochie. Can we be honest about that? Did I say it right? If I did, can I get a number 4? I'll take a number 4 supersize with a Coca-Cola light ice. If I said it right, let me get a 4. Because by my estimation, Angela did not come for Shamea's marriage, but that's what Shamea keeps telling people. So she up here telling, thank y'all for them foes. So I said it right. Angela didn't come for your marriage. She started telling Cynthia, I didn't invite her because there's no coming back once you come for my marriage. She didn't come for your marriage. She came for your coochie. Mm-hmm. That's what happened. Shamea came for her coochie. Yes, Sean, cat spread like the rainbow. That's what Angela accused her of. Now, I can't accuse Shamea of that because I have not seen Shamea do such a thing. Now, over the years, have there been rumors about Shamea? Absolutely. Over the years, have there been allegations about her, having a friendly cat? Yes. Can I make that allegation? Absolutely not, because I don't know nothing about that woman. Okay? Now, where Angela is concerned, Angela is alluding to the fact that, not alluding, matter of fact, she bluntly said, you say my husband be out the door, but when he is out the door, he said he saw you. I'm gonna say that again. See, Shamea set this up. She set herself up for the fall because she said, hey, right, DS, taste the rainbow. So when you tell her about her husband being outside, in my opinion, Shamea opened the door for Angela to tell her about what he said he saw when he was outside. You put her in that position. You put her in the position to talk about what Charles saw when he was out the door because you had no business mentioning Charles. Because ain't nobody mentioned Mr. Gerald, who seems like, again, a very nice man who loves his wife and his family and does not want to be on television. And now his wife has him in a precarious position. You understand? Okay? So they talked about that, and she says she don't have no problem with Drew, but Drew keep mentioning Porsha. We seen her do it. Do I know that she keep doing it? I don't know. Shine Bright say then went in a smear campaign to make people think Angela went too far. That's exactly what she did, because Shamea is manipulative and she's very conniving. She's just not very smart. Y'all listen to Bianca now. Double tap the screen or hit your 3 dots and give me a like, okay? Please and thank you. So look, so they talked about that. And so Cynthia says, well, since you mentioned about Drew talking about Porsha too much, why didn't you invite Porsha? And Cynthia quickly reminded her, well, when she had a party, she invited you. And she's like, well, we in an awkward place. She hadn't talked to you when she invited you to her house, but she invited you. And what I want to point out, beyond the invite, Shamea went. Can we talk about that? Y'all mind? We got a little time. I know we started late, but we got a minute, right? Porsha invited you. She's claiming they in an awkward space, and that's why she didn't invite Porsha, because they had text messages after the reunion and they hadn't talked since then. Okay, fine, well and good, fair play if that's what you're saying. But the problem is, y'all texted after the reunion, y'all had words on text messages that you talked about, and y'all have not spoken since. And that was also true when Porsha invited you to her house. So if you were in such an awkward space and you feel like it's being fake to be around and be cordial for this show because it's a job, why didn't you feel like it was too awkward and fake to show up at her house? If y'all got the same question, type why in the chat. Why? Why, Shamea? Why? I would like to know why. Wouldn't y'all like to know why? I would. I would absolutely like to know why. Because nothing's changed, right? Thank you for the whys. Because I was wanting to know why. Why? What's the difference? What is the difference? If anything, y'all have had more interaction since the reunion now than you had on the first episode when she invited you to her house. And yet somehow the lack of conversation, the lack of interaction, hey, Tamika Wilson, the lack of all of those things, none of that equaled, I'm not going to go to her house because that's fake and we haven't talked and it's an awkward space. Hey, I'm her beauty. Tamika, this your first time hanging with us, girl? Let us know. Put FTL in the chat if it's your first time hanging with us so we can welcome you personally and individually, okay? But this is my thing. So what's the difference, Shamea? It's not that y'all are in an awkward space. It's not that. No, it's not that you're in an awkward space at all. The issue is because this was your opportunity to try to snub her, and so you did. You wanted to snub her, and so you did. It's not because y'all are in an awkward space, because at the end of the day, you in the same space you were when she invited you to her house and you showed up with that 27-piece mohawk that I still have not forgiven you for. Y'all, this is Tamika's first time. I'm going to put welcome in the chat. I need y'all to spam the chat with the word welcome for Tamika. Spam the chat. Y'all know how we do. So the question I have is, Shamea, when you going to be real? When you going to be real, Shamea? Is it that you in an awkward space, or you just been waiting to try to do something nasty, and this was your big chance, this was your big move, and it's so crazy. This was your opportunity to be nasty for a party that nobody really wanted to be at. Your opportunity to be nasty and snub her was a party where y'all was sitting on the settee talking about Angela. Not where the music was busting, not where the food was good, not where y'all in there dancing in a conga line, not any of those things. There was nothing exciting going on. There was nothing, you know, momentous that was taking place at all. At all. And I'm gonna go out on a limb and just tell you, honey, I've had Kenyan food, and I didn't taste anything that moved me. So it's not even that we can say, oh, the food was so good, she missed out on good food. And I don't believe I'm being biased, toward West African food or whatever, but if I am being sincere, the food ain't even that good. It just ain't. It just ain't. So you did all of that to exclude her from a tired party because this was your opportunity to be nasty. Now, that's just what it was, Shamea. Right, I'm her. The vibes wasn't there. The vibes were not there. There were no vibes. There were zero vibes. Zero. Numka. No vibes. None whatsoever. Okay? Hey, my sweet. Yeah, Sandra, the party looked dry. You've seen tumbleweeds rolling through that big pretty house. Tumbleweeds just rolling. Just rolling through there. Wasn't nothing going on. Poor Mr. Gerald. So they talked about that, and she starts talking about, in the text messages, Porsha came for my marriage. She's made comments about my marriage. Let her tell it. Everybody coming for her marriage. I don't believe Porsha said nothing about your marriage. I think Porsha told you about your tail because you lied and said that girl didn't come to your wedding when she did. And then she posted proof that she absolutely came to the wedding you had in the States. She just did not go to Kenya. Now that's what the hell went on. Okay? Lord Pink Pilates Princess says, sound like Shamea's mama is a better time. Mm-hmm. Hey, blessed woman of God. How you doing, girl? Hey, Cynthia Christian. But listen, so we get past that. She back talking about surrogacy and getting a little boy and this and that. And it's dry. Nobody wants to hear it, Shamea. Like, it's really dry. Maybe had Shamea made that her storyline, we would be more invested. But we're just not that invested. We're just not that invested in hearing about it because you made your whole storyline. I'm going to beef with Angela and Drew because I'm mad because they exposed me for trying to be messy with Porsha. And it's funny y'all mention the mama because I do want to say this. I didn't see Shamea's mama at that party. I did not see Shamea's mother at that party. Now, am I saying for certain that she was not there? No, I can't say that. I can't say that. But I will say this. She didn't make it her business to be on camera. She didn't make it her business to be talking and making sure that she was in the scene, in the words of Suge Knight, all in the videos. If you don't want the producer, the CEO, all in the videos, come to Death Row. Why wasn't she all in the screen? Why wasn't she all in the video? You know why? Because it was nobody there to be messy with. Have y'all noticed Shamea's mama show up when it's time to help Shamea manipulate people? I'm going to say it again. Shamea's mama shows up when it's time to help Shamea manipulate people. She showed up to that opening over there at Kelli with her at the fried chicken shack with the waffles or whatever the hell she got, because they thought Porsha was coming and they was all planning to gang up on Porsha and it was gonna be a thing. And then when Porsha didn't show up, then and Shamea and Drew started talking. She got in the middle of that to try to manipulate that situation. Then we find out later on in this episode, which we had already heard from the guy who put his naked feet on K. Michelle kitchen counter, that her and her mama showed up to the club, and K. Michelle lets us know that she in the club with the mama holding her hand trying to manipulate K. Michelle. Miss Sarah is not a nice lady. And y'all know it take a lot for me to say certain stuff about old women, because you know I'm not exactly a spring chicken myself. So I try to respect that gray hair, even though she won't let hers be gray. Now she want to wear long stringy wigs because she trying to be Diane 2.0. I said it and I meant it. Okay? But that lady, she's not a good person. I'm just going to say it. It takes me a lot to say that about an old woman. But Miss Sarah's not a good person. Right, Bianca? That is probably why Porsha did not come. And because she already knew, remember, they went back and told her after she hugged it out with Kelli, Kelli was still running around calling her ho this, ho that, ho the other. So what's the point of going, I can't make it, I'm going to send you some flowers, right? Especially since she see that her and Shamea done linked up and it's clearly about to be a tag team situation. Hey, Nene Ashley. I'm her beauty. Say, yeah, Miss Sarah ain't it, a manipulator. That's why she in the club with Shamea. Right. Right. Because mamas in the club don't match. I'm just not understanding it. I wish I would get up and go to a club with Peanut. She know not to even ask me about going to no cotton picking club. You can go to any club you want to. I'm going to be sitting down with my feet up. I'm not going to no goddamn club. Now you going somewhere that's serving chicken wings or something, you know, holla at me. I might could work with you with a 6-piece all flats. You know, I could work with you on that. You know, bone in, all flats. Yeah. But that's the game she's trying to play. Right there, Miranda. She can't replace Diane, but she want to be Diane, just like her daughter wants to be Porsha instead of being themselves. It's silly, but that's what I'm saying, okay? But it was interesting to me and notable that at that party, we didn't see Sarah getting all in the video. We didn't see Sarah all in front of the camera. We didn't see her trying to talk like she's sanctified when she's more like satanic. And I ain't just picking with her. Every one of us knows somebody that play like they super saved when they giving super satanic. She ain't the first, won't be the last. Right, Deborah. Mamas in the club praying don't mix. If you a mama and you in the club praying, it's supposed to be because you in there to snatch your baby out that den of iniquity. Now, if you ain't coming in there to yoke up your baby and say, get out this here den of degradation and get home to your husband, what you doing in the club holding somebody's hand fake praying other than you trying to manipulate people? I'm just asking. Don't shoot the messenger. I'm just saying. So anyway, they talked about that. Cynthia tried to even give her a way out. See, these are the moments that I pay attention to, that I put a pin in. And I try to mention these moments because they matter. The moments when somebody who's there, who's a third party, a neutral party, tries to give you a way out from the mess you got going on. Cynthia tried to give Shamea a way out tonight. I don't know if y'all caught it, but I did, and I'm going to point it out to you, okay? All right? Cynthia said to Shamea, that seems like a lot. You're going through a lot with the whole surrogacy and everything. It's a lot of stress. She said, do you feel like maybe you kind of misdirecting or directing some of that stress out to the other ladies? Shamea goes, no. No. So Cynthia said, oh, so you feel like they deserve to lighten up and stuff that you're giving them. Hey, Quiet Storm, thank you for being like number 92. She said, yeah, because they light me up in return. But Shamea, you just said it. They light you up in return. You're doing a lot. And so Shamea is giving me, you feel like it's okay for you to do the things you're doing. You only feel like it's wrong when they return the same energy. Hey, Aries son, thank you for being 96. You caught that, Auntie Eva? Yeah. Cynthia tried to give her a way out, to clean it up, to make herself look like less of a butthole. And she wasn't even smart enough to take the life raft. She was like, no, because they light me up in return. You're right. And I'm glad you accidentally told the truth, because they light you up in return. You talked about Angela Oakley's husband, and she lit you up in return. You bothered with Drew, and so Drew bothered with you at that table. Okay? Now, mind you, when they was at Porsha's house, Drew was bothering her first. And that's the facts. Shamea didn't say nothing to Drew out the way. Drew said something to her first. And then Shamea returned fire. But the vast majority of what we've been seeing this season is Shamea and her mess and people responding to it. Right, blessed woman of God, Shamea can dish it, but she cannot take it. She can't take it. Right, Cynthia Christian, Shamea is mean, and she's mean, and I'm going to add nasty. She mean and she nasty. And see, and I'm going to say this before we go to the K. Michelle and Pinky scene, because that's what's up next. But I got to say this. I got to say this. Last season, when Angela called her Shamina, I was like, why is she calling her Shamina? I didn't really like it. That was the same scene where she called her Flavor Flav, and I was very offended at that, because I do not like the referring to black women as men. You know, and then the dark-skinned man reference and everything. And it was definitely giving colorist vibes. And I did not like that from Angela Oakley. I called it out at the moment. I'm like, I don't know who told her that was what she needed to say. I don't know who told her that was cute. I don't know why she thought that was acceptable, but it absolutely was anything but, and I wasn't feeling it, right? And I got so caught up on that, and then the fact that I'm like, why would she call her Shamina? Like, what did Shamea do that was mean? If y'all go, hey, Don Hanley, welcome all the way from the UK. If y'all go watch my old videos last season when that happened, that episode, I was like, why are you calling her mean? And I see you picking on her. We did not have enough information. We didn't know about the alliance yet. We didn't understand the dynamic between Angela, Shamea, and Drew, and the fact that Shamea was very much trying to get them to join their alliance to take down Porsha. So now, knowing what we know now, Angela calling her Shamina makes more sense, because when she called her that, I know a lot of people went up like, ooh, Shamina. I was like, y'all goofy as her, because what the hell does that even mean? And the viewing audience, none of us knew why she was referring to that girl as mean, but now it makes a lot more sense. It makes a lot more sense. Angela had more information than us, and she wasn't letting the cat out of the bag. Bianca said, and let Angela tell it that Cooch is nasty with her, allegedly humping on all them people's knees. That's tough. That's tough. But yeah, it makes more sense now. Now the whole Shamina thing, it makes a lot more sense. And it's definitely giving Angela Saul your stuff, because you were trying to involve her in a takedown of somebody you was calling your best friend. And so she realized you're a very mean, nasty person, and you were mean enough to try to orchestrate her takedown while still pretending to be her bestie, while pretending you love her so much and you just want to hold on to her. Hey, Poetic Lyrics. That was pretty mean. That was pretty mean. Okay. Hey, Dana Brown. So now let's get into the K. Michelle and the Pinky conversation, right? Hold on. We got a comment from Blessed Woman of God. Let me see what she say. Sis says, if you look up old episodes of Shamea, she's very messy. She went back and told Sheree what Porsha said in confidence in season 10, the Halloween party. Oh yeah, Shamea's always been a shady character, but people didn't see her as a shady character because, like I said, it's always the pretty tax. So whoever the pretty girl is automatically the bad person. If you got two girls that are pretty, whoever is considered to be prettier or whoever is considered to be more desirable automatically becomes the bad person. Y'all can argue with yourselves. I know what I've been watching, and this is what people do. Or if the two girls are equally pretty, Whoever has darker skin is the good person. Whoever has lighter skin is the bad person. Y'all know it. Let's not front. Because nobody paid attention to how whack Shamea was. I won't say nobody, but most people didn't. They automatically saw her as the victim, and Shamea was never a victim. At the beginning of last season, everybody was calling her the victim. Oh, Porsha doing so much to her, Porsha. And I'm sitting there like, and I said it all last season. Porsha's not doing nothing to her. She's just refusing to argue with her on camera. And a lot of people could not see it. Shamea literally had to show her entire behind before people could see that she's really a wicked, not nice person. Nobody could see it. She was automatically a victim based on skin tone and desirability politics. People felt like Porsha was more desirable, so she's the bad person. And so we need to see you get took down, and this one needs to win because you're the bad person. And I kept telling everybody from last season, these women have been friends that long because they are the same person. They have a lot in common. Am I saying Porsha is quite as sinister as Shamea? Maybe, maybe not. That's up for grabs. But I will say this before I move on to K. Michelle and Pinky. I call Porsha the Black Mamba for a reason. Porsha may not even be like that no more, but I'm also not going to sit here and pretend like we didn't watch what she did to Nene. I'm not going to do that because I watched you. You did it multiple times, and then you did it again, and she wasn't even on the show. You tried to stop her bag, ended up stopping your own. So I'm not going to pretend like Porsha's not a reptile, but at the end of the day, so is Shamea. If Porsha's the Black Mamba, Shamea's a cobra. At the least a rattlesnake. And I stand by that. Okay? I stand by that. Hey, Miss Nisi. Say, I've been saying Shamea was messy since day one. I never liked her. Yeah, she was kind of hard to like. She was kind of hard to like. Okay? So, K and Pinky. Pinky and K. Right, Adrienne Marie. Birds of a feather. Even the Bible tell you how can two walk together except they agree. Them people ain't been friends that long and they not the same type of person. It's not possible. You ain't gonna be able to get along. Somebody gonna get offended at somebody unless y'all the same type of, you can't walk together unless you agree. Okay? It's just what it is. All right? Mm-hmm. So look, Pinky and Kate meet up at the restaurant. Pinky is pinkying like always. Oh, I saw 9,000 move out my account. I ain't know what it was for, but it was for food for her restaurant. So, she found out what it was. And y'all, we at some point we're gonna have to, pay closer attention to K. Michelle too. Because K. Michelle has got a real thing about needing pure liquor all the time. I like a drink much as the next person. Hey, Kashana, thank you for being 107. Not leaky and porky. She's not porky. She's stinky. Stinky cold. Leaky and the Linky and Stinky show. So they sit down. K. Michelle wanting pure liquor. Pinky's doing her thing again. Oh, I'm the first Black woman to do this. The first Black woman to franchise vegan. The first Black woman. Girl, I'm tired. You're the first Caribbean woman to franchise a vegan restaurant. Like, cut the crap. Pinky Cole do not even like Black American women, and I'm tired of her. I am. With the first Black this, first Black that. You are the first Caribbean woman, and cut the crap. I've had it with Pinky Cole and her stuff. And then, of course, she had to talk about bankruptcy again because, everything with Pinky is vegan and bankruptcy, and apparently you can have a vegan bankruptcy, and we going to learn how we do it on RHOA this season with Stinky Cole. Everybody should learn how to get a vegan bankruptcy. I guess that's the kind you get when you don't eat meat. Okay? Makeup addicts say we don't claim Pinky. Thanks. No, she yours. She yours. Yep, you got to take her. You got to take her. You got to take her. Yeah, you do. Because, see, we got some people that we don't want to take, and we have to take them. So you can't give them to us. Yes, and Pinky is exhausting. Mm-hmm. Pinky is very exhausting. So they have this conversation about the vegan bankruptcy. not conversation, but she had to mention it. So Kay is still talking about, not belonging, and Pinky saying, "Oh, you absolutely belong." And in reality, Pinky nor K Michelle belong on this show. Can we agree on that at least, y'all? Is there anybody who feels like either one of these women belong on the show? Because from what I've seen on social media, the feedback from the fans, I think it's a safe bet that while there are some people who may enjoy these two insufferable women, the general consensus is that nobody wants either of them to come back ever again. So it was really crazy. Hey, Uwe Hazes. It was really crazy to watch K Michelle still go on and on about Drew saying she don't belong, and to see Pinky Cole, somebody who absolutely does not belong on this show, tell K Michelle, "Oh, you absolutely belong." Y'all been there 5 minutes and everybody wants you gone. It's clear that y'all do not belong at all. I see some agreement in the comments. I'm not the only person that feels this way. So they had that, little exchange, and I'm just like, are y'all gonna do this every scene? Bring up that Drew told you you don't belong. And let me throw this in. How pitiful is it that Drew Sadummy, can make a statement that got you spinning and spinning and spinning? One sentence, you don't belong. One statement, rather, that you don't belong, and you bring it up every chance you get. When she sat down last episode, her Kay, Drew, and Shamea, she bringing it up. I don't go places where I don't belong, and don't belong. When she was talking to Phaedra when they were out back, and she was trying to make her fish with whatever filthy hot dogs and Kool-Aid, and caught nothing. And she even said it to her then when Phaedra said, "Are you gonna come to the thing?" She's doing a national anthem. "No, I don't go where I don't belong." At this point, I don't want to hear the words "don't belong" come out of K Michelle's mouth ever again. I've had enough. If you let her tell it, Drew is 10 stories, 10 feet, 10,000 leagues beneath her. And yet this person who is so far beneath you in every way can make one statement, claim you don't belong, and you can't quit talking about it. Don't y'all think that's a little odd? Because I do. I think it's a little odd that somebody the likes of Drew Sidora can make the statement that you don't belong, and you care, and you keep talking about it. And it's at this point, I feel like either you care so much that you can't let it go, or you're hanging on to the one thing that she actually said to you that was unpleasant because you know that this girl has done nothing to you. Because that's what it's giving me. Hey, Tia Jones. Drew said K Michelle don't fit in, and K Michelle told Drew you going out the group before Drew said you don't fit in. Yeah, she did tell her she don't fit in. But what I'm saying is, if she feel, and how you doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome. If this your first time, welcome. If not, welcome back, sis. But it's the fact that if you feel like she's so far beneath you, why do you care what she said? That's, to me, I think it's safe to say a lot of us don't put a lot of stock in what drug addicts who hang around gas stations say. Is that right or wrong? Yes, no, thumbs up, right? All right. So if a bum hanging outside of a gas station tells me, you just don't look the part of a mother, or you somehow, I just feel like I don't like the way you carry yourself. I promise you, I'm not going to be stewing on that. I'm not going to be marinating on that. It's not going to live rent free in my head that this bum outside the gas station told me that he doesn't like the way I carry myself. If she feels like legitimately that Drew is that far beneath her, why do you care what she thinks of you? Why would you want to fit in anywhere where she would fit in? Like, am I tripping? Or is that not the case? If you're beneath me, I could care less what you think of me. What you think of me is not relevant. You're not relevant. So Kay is literally talking out both sides of her mouth, and it just is what it is. So we get past the you belong, you don't belong conversation, and life is more than a national anthem. And if you treat people right, you'll be able to do more. You'll be able to perform more than that. And I'm thinking, K Michelle, you've had a lot of problematic instances in your career started off problematic because of your attitude and different things of that nature, and you've been able to perform wonderful places. You've been able to get on the Billboard charts. You've been able to be at award shows. So if behavior and character were the benchmark, Kay, you wouldn't be nowhere, baby. You wouldn't be nowhere. And then she had to bring up that the girl do AI music or whatever. She's not a real singer. She's an actress. So, of course, she had to use auto-tune, and they was going to have to AI it up to make it sound like something. It just kind of is what it is. That would be like me, someone who's been a freelance designer and seamstress for over 30 years, that I would just go pick at somebody who just started sewing year before last. I don't like your stitches. I don't like your pleats. I don't like the way you did your darts. You should have took care of that hemline better. I don't like the way your seams are. They bunched up. They not smooth. You should have ironed it. You see what I'm saying? Drew is an actress. Drew's an actress. To me, that would be as ridiculous as if I saw Drew critiquing the hell out of K. Michelle when she's trying to be a B actress on Lifetime or Tubi or wherever the hell. I think it was Lifetime, what the show that her and Porsha was on. Now, if Drew started picking your acting performance apart, like that was overdone. You should have did this. You didn't do that. Then she would be like, well, I'm not no actress. I'm a singer. And right back at you. Drew is not a singer. She's an actress. So why you coming at her neck about auto-tune and AI? She's not a songstress. She's not that. She's never been that. She's never going to be that. She's singing, having fun. And I'm sure she was venturing out to see if she could make a little money at it. Okay? Now, I feel like she kind of overestimated herself last season, talking about she was going to make enough money to pay for Pilar to go to college. Now, that was some nasty bull crap. And I knew from that moment that Shamea wasn't really Porsha's friend, because you'd have said that about my friend girl or my little nieces or my nephew. I'd have popped you dead in your mouth. I promise I would have. And when Shamea didn't check her, clown her, embarrass her, and threaten to drag her, I said, oh, she don't like Porsha. And she don't like Pilar. I knew that then. Okay? But it is what it is. So they started talking or whatever about the don't belong, and they went to talking about Shamea. Pinky told her, like, girl, I heard about you, about Shamea grabbing your purse to keep you from running. So, of course, Kay is like, oh, yeah, you heard about that? So then they got in a conversation about Shamea. And so then she's like, oh, that was a long day. It was rough, whatever. And I went to the club, and Shamea and her mama met me up there. So Pinky had the reaction any normal person would have had her mama. And so that's when we find out that not only did the mama come up there, she came up there with her girls pushed all the way up. And I'm sitting there like, what in the world? You know what I'm saying? I'm not as old as Miss Sarah. Miss Sarah is old. I might be old, but I'm not old. Miss Sarah is old. And you at the club with that long stringy wig on, mortuary number 5 makeup, same shade that K. Michelle wear, and you got your bosoms pushed up while you walking into a nightclub, a mess. So, K Clown and talking about, I don't know a mama like that, but I ain't knocking it. I mean, hey, we can't knock it, because ain't nobody, most of us ain't going to talk too crazy about nobody mama. Like, you got to really push us to do that. Y'all know culturally, we don't really play with the mamas too heavy. Unless the mama get all the way out of pocket, and we gonna get with them. What, Miss Red? I'm telling the truth. I'm old, but I'm not old. And Miss Sarah is old. Now, I'm just old. And I wouldn't go to no club with none of my nieces or my daughter with my bosoms pushed up to the ceiling. You just not going to catch me doing that. And Miss Sarah is old. Old. Okay, talking about where was Papa Morton. You didn't see that man in that kitchen last episode? Papa Morton looked confused as hell. He looked pleasantly confused. I'm not sure Papa Morton know what day of the week it is. And I'm not talking nothing up on him, but he did look a little confused. I'm going to say that. He looked like he was pleasantly confused too. All right. So they talks about that and say that the mama came in there and she holding her hand for over an hour while they working and manipulating her and telling her, hey, chef, welcome. If this your first time, put FTL. Let us know it's your first time live with us, okay? But said that over an hour, she up there holding her hand and going on and Shamea telling her, please be loyal to me. Please be my friend. Please really be my friend, because none of my friends want me to be friends with you. And Pinky say, so what? She holding your hand like y'all praying in the club. And K. Michelle said, basically. And then say she all worked up. Sunshine, it's your first time live. Y'all welcome Sunshine to the chat. I need y'all to spam the chat with the word welcome. Y'all know the rules around here. Poetic lyrics say, po pleasantly confused man. Yes. Listen, when I get too old, I want to be pleasantly confused. I don't want to know what's going on like that. I want to be pleasantly confused. I don't really want to be sure about very much. Once I get to a certain point, I don't want to be aware of what's going down. Okay? I don't. I'm being honest with y'all. If I gotta stay here, I want to be so happy about everything because I don't understand a god doggone thing that I'm looking at. Now that's what I want to see. Y'all spam the chat with the word welcome. Good job, good job. Thank you, and thank you again. I appreciate that. That's what I like to see. Sunshine, etc. Okay, well, welcome, Sunshine, etc. Don't let it be your last time, baby. Make sure you hit subscribe so you can come back and hang with us again, okay? So I'm sitting there, then K. Michelle say she went out to her car and she was crying in the car. And Pinky said you was crying. And oh, you're welcome, darling. And so I at first I told y'all we talked about it at the sneak peek. At first I was like, well, would she? And then I had to think about it. Dr. Lily Young, my sis, is here. Hey, Richard Wilson. I had to really think about it. I said, and like I told y'all, K. Michelle cried at breakfast in Dallas. So if she cried at breakfast over a conversation that didn't happen, thank you for being like number 120, sis. She would definitely cry after Shamea sits there and tells her that none of my friends want me to be your friend and please be loyal. And she got her mama holding the lady hand and they guilt tripping and manipulating this girl in the middle of a club. Of course, K. Michelle was crying in the car because she is a bag of pecans. Shout out to Lil' Kim. So, of course, Pinky's like, oh, no, that's not fair to you. No, it wasn't fair because Shamea's not a fair person. She's a horrible person. And Kay says, she has had Shamea's back. And I said, yeah, you had her back. You had Shamea's back so hard that you tried to fake a beef with Porsha, but then let it slip that Portia's a big old girl. And that big old gal, all she got to do is drop one of them big legs on you or step on you or sit on you and it's all over. When K. Michelle said that, I wasn't surprised at all. I wasn't surprised. Yeah, you want to make peace with that big old girl because you feel like worst come to worst, if you jump on Drew or you woof at her, she's likely to back down, or at the worst, it's just gonna be words. See, Porsha, one of them people that's kind of slow, and sometimes when people slow, you can't predict when they're gonna snap, and that's a big girl. And K. Michelle knew if that big old gal got a hold to her, she'd have had a problem. Okay. Yeah, that's all I'm saying. And I feel like that's why she picking with Drew, because she know Drew is harmless. Drew's not a good person. She do a lot of little funny stuff. She ain't did nothing to K. Michelle, but she knows that Drew, for the most part, is harmless. You see? That's why she doing that. But she wants somebody to pick with. But she absolutely has had Portia's back because she tried, not Porsha, Shamea's back because she tried to pick a fake beef with Porsha, bringing up this man that dated you when y'all wasn't even friends, bringing up, talking about that she was being shaded because she asked you if you had a miscarriage, even though Cynthia said she thought that too and you claim you did too. Magically, it was the problem later. All of the things. Sean Living Life say Shamea's mama is a master manipulator. Well, she try to be. I ain't gonna say she a master, but she's a chronic manipulator. See, to be a master manipulator, you gotta be good at it. And they just not. Now, Pink Pilates Princess say Drew looks slow and strong too. She don't look strong. She don't. Drew look like, y'all know what I think. Slow, yes. Strong, no. Anybody who ain't got full range of motion of their neck, they can't turn it to either side all the way. I'm not scared of you. Hey, Tope. Thank you for being 124. So they talked about that. And then Pinky says she gonna throw a skating party. And say she inviting everybody, and K Michelle questioned that, you inviting everybody? And I was like, yeah, absolutely inviting everybody. I'm just saying, Bianca, I'm just saying, anybody that ain't got full range of motion of their neck, you ain't no threat to me. That's all I'm saying. That's just my take on it. I could be wrong, but when you struggling to turn your head, I don't see you. So let's get to Porsha, child. Let's get to Porsha. So she over there to her house. She got the chef cooking, talking about she was going. She thought about faking, have the man come early cook and pretend like she cooked the food. But I'm glad she didn't. Don't pretend like you can cook, because if you mess around and you do that and you decide to keep the man, he gonna eventually find out you can't cook. Now that right there is called a man trap. Now we used to set those. I have a sister. I don't talk to that hooker no more. But I have a sister that couldn't cook. We had the same mama, same daddy, but she couldn't cook. Okay? Anybody know us back home will tell you it's the truth. I'm not making this up. If she boiled the egg, somehow it ended up with a gristle in it. Like, it was bad. She really, bad. Terrible. Terrible cook. Burnt everything she touched. Sometimes she cooked stuff, it come out the wrong color. I seen her cook rice-a-roni one time and it was green. I still don't know what the hell she did to it. Just couldn't cook. And we was trying to help her one time, and I was going to fix the food and then get on up out of there where the man could eat the food and he wouldn't know she couldn't cook. We was trying to get her married off at that time. And she messed it up. Even with the good groceries, she still couldn't catch the man. That's just how that went. But over time, I've learned, even if you set a man trap with somebody else's food, if you catch him, how you gonna feed him later? He gonna know that you can't. Eventually, it's gonna come out that you can't cook. So I'm glad that she, gave up on that plan and just, kept the chef there, and the chef went on and fixed the food, okay? So it looked like they had lamb chops, oxtails, rice, all kind of, delectables, all kind of tasty things. Yes, Lily, she turned rice-a-roni green. Now, I ain't never been good at cooking out no box. Mama didn't teach us that, but she was trying to fix rice-a-roni, and it was green. I just don't know how it turned green, but, I just said that to let you know how severe the lack of cooking ability was. It was just that bad. So I hope Porsha's not that bad off, but I'm glad she didn't try to fool that man. Okay? Right, Poetic Lyrics. Don't fake the phone. Don't do it. Hey, DT. Y'all, DT is here. Welcome back, boo. So then the man shows up that she was going with, and the man said to tell the chef, well, if we get married, you gonna have to move in with us. And I thought that was hilarious. No, DT, she ain't cook it with no liver. She ain't cook it with no liver. I don't know why it turned brown, but she sure didn't cook it with no liver. Wasn't no meat in it. The heifer just couldn't cook. She never could. If you saw us, you would think we had different parents. She couldn't cook, couldn't sew, couldn't clean, can't grow nothing, can't garden. Just can't. Just can't. If she ever had a nickname, it should have been Can't. Because that's exactly what she can do. Nothing. She can't. But anywho, I said it and I meant it. Okay? Lord, not green eggs from an ostrich. In Florida. But listen, so he made that comment about the chef got to move in. I just shook my head. I say, Porsha, don't set no man trap. You're going to get caught. So then we find out, with the little flashback from production, that Lauren told Porsha what a lot of our mamas used to tell us: don't date one person, because then you're going to get real serious about that one person, and then you're going to, feel like you invested too much. You're going to hang on when you should walk away. So, in essence, Lauren told her, you need to multi-date, not multi-sleep with people. I said, oh, bless the Lord. Come on, Lauren. Lauren was over there preaching. She said multi-date, not multi-screw. I say, Lauren, tell her again, real loud on a megaphone. Date multiple people. Surface level dating so you can start eliminating folks. That was good sound advice from her little sister. I hope Porsha listens to her. But it looked like, I think we saw on the blogs that Porsha done got engaged to that woman. So she didn't listen real hard. Okay? But anyway, So she talks about her love languages and all of that, and they get to the culture con of it all. And she says she thought that she was just being open, and she felt like she was giving them a shout out, and she didn't know it was going to be a problem about her mentioning, being very open about the fact that, she's dating, she's back in the dating pool, and she was dating a man and dating a woman. Well, he say he wasn't happy about it and about her being open with that or whatever. And so she was like, hey, basically, this is, I thought it was okay. And they start talking about, you know, the fact that he wants children. And she let him know, you want kids, and that could be a deal breaker. Because I know you don't have any. And he was getting ready to start lying about, oh, he could get past. And she was like, no, because you in your 40s and you don't have any yet. You're going to want some children because you don't have any. And basically, she don't know if she can go through IVF again because she was freezing eggs and all that. She don't know if she want to go through all that no more, which is a good point. And so basically saying, we can go for it. We got to move slow if you're willing to move slow. And he basically says he's willing to move slow, but he ain't willing to move slow. He just want to hang around long as he can. So, oh, she not engaged. That was AI. Okay, good. Because, see, I wasn't sure, which is why I didn't go live to report that, because I didn't know if it was real or not. But I was just like, well, if she is, it's Porsha. But it's good to know that that's not real. Okay? Right, DT. Spread the love, not the legs. Yeah, and don't be in no hurry to spread the love. Don't be in a hurry to go talking about you love people. People use that love word way too lightly. You understand what I'm saying? People so quick to say, I love you, I love him, I love this, I love that. When the truth of the matter is this. When you love something, you're willing to sacrifice for it. I ain't going to get on no soapbox, but I'm just going to keep it real, okay? Love is an action word. It's an action word. Love behaves a certain way. When you love things, you are willing to cover it, to provide for it. You're willing to sacrifice for it. You're willing to forgive all number of things. Even the Bible tells you love covers a multitude of iniquity. Love is powerful. Love is not fleeting. Love is not because of. Love is in spite of. Okay? People, young folks, especially some old folks too. You get with people, they look good, and the woman's real pretty, and she got nice skin and a cute shape. Ooh, I love her. No, you saying you love her because of what she look like right now and how she make you feel right now. But a time gonna come when that shape ain't gonna be that cute and the skin ain't gonna be so fresh, and she ain't gonna always make you feel good. And it's gonna be time she say stuff that make you mad and hot as fish grease. Love is in spite of. Right, Lily, they experiencing lust and infatuation. Sometimes obsession, but it ain't love. It ain't love. There are some parents that say they love their children, but they don't. You not really. Not really. See, what you love, you can sacrifice for. I was concerned when I heard Drew sitting on that Sprinter talking about that man Black. Oh, I love him. Watch your mouth. Do you? Do you? We really gotta, start cautioning folks on this love of a thing. Don't just use that like that. Don't just use that like that. Why y'all think all these marriages ending in divorce? Because you're saying love when you don't mean it. When a man marry a woman, he supposed to love her what? The way Christ loves the church. And when Christ loved the church, he was willing to go up on Calvary. Don't make me start. It's sacrifice. It's forgiveness. It's long suffering. It don't faint. It don't get tired. That's love. We got to stop all that. I'm for real, y'all. We got to stop all that because it's foolishness. It really is. It really, really is. We got to stop it. So now let's get to Kelli, child. Let's get to Kelli. Because, see, I told y'all. And see, Shamea's walking into a trap. Shamea's walking into a deadly, dangerous trap. I mean, horrible trap. And she don't even see it. Lily says, you right. Because Drew and Ralph got married after a couple months. Yeah, and they didn't love each other. They didn't love each other. Ralph has proved he don't love that woman. And she done proved she don't love him. What we've seen between Ralph and Drew is a perfect example of two people who got married for like. They got married possibly a little lust. It could have been some biological clocks ticking. Oh, my time running out. I got to hurry up and get, but it wasn't love. It wasn't love. For Ralph to treat her how he treated her, do for her mama, then sit up and talk about her mama and talk about what he did for her to try to humiliate that old woman. If you love a woman, you couldn't treat her mother like that. For Drew to be out here on public platforms lying, pretending like the man was doing stuff he wasn't doing, lying about the money, lying. You don't go lying on people you love. That's not how that works. Neither one of them people loved each other. And I told y'all that Drew and Ralph was the same people, and ain't nobody believed me. But I digress. Back to Kelli and this mess with her and Shamea, because this is a mess. So we get Kelli moving out the house. She done emptied out the whole house, and whatever, I'm moving. I don't think Kelli moving because she wanted to move. Kelli moving because she lost that house. Now that's just what I believe, and I'm sticking with that. I believe she just flat out lost that house. Now, she did make reference to what we saw in the blogs about her and her neighbor getting into it and the lady suing her. She said the lady was stalking her and all of that. Do I believe that's possible? Absolutely. But I also believe she lost that house and why she moved. Because if it was just a matter of you moved because you wanted to, you would have been able. Yeah, where my likes at? Please, y'all double tap the screen or hit the like button if you got it on your device, or hit the 3 buttons at the top and click like. I'm 100 likes short. That ain't right. That ain't right. Treat me right, okay? But either way, she done lost that house. Because if she had just sold it, moved because she wanted to, she could have sold it, took that money, and got her somewhere to stay. But she couldn't. She had to go and stay in Shamea's property. And we find out from the mama that the mama told her just come on home. And y'all know what that means. When your mama tell you, baby, just come home, what that mean? You need to regroup. You in a bad position. Things done went wrong. And most of us have had the comfort of when things go wrong for your mama to say, baby, come home. It was very heartwarming to see that from her mama. Because mama told her, come on home. Come on home. And see, she could have went on home, but she didn't go home. No. One, she want to be somewhere to film where people don't see what's up, really. And I think too, because she got a plan for Shamea and her husband. And Shamea too stupid to see it. I'm going to say it again. Kelli could have went home, and we saw that from the mama tonight. But she don't want to go back home and sit down and regroup. She'll rather stay in Shamea's house and pay utilities and stuff and maybe a little rent. She probably ain't charging her nothing or whatever. But she'd rather stay there because she need proximity to Shamea, because she got a plan for Shamea and her husband. See, I see it. I see it. And I'm going to make my case again. And every time I see something on it, I'm going to point it out because I want y'all to see the breadcrumbs. They went to that goddamn surrogate appointment. Kelli went with her. She talking about the man don't want her filming love scenes with men and he ain't comfortable with it. What she told Shamea? What she told her? Your whole life can't revolve around Gerald. And go back and see how she said it. Go back and look at her body language. Look at her tone of voice. Look at the expression on her face when she said it. Then she gets over to Shamea's house, to that man party, pretending like she drunk. That hoe wasn't drunk. Pretending like she drunk, acting like she about to cry, talking to Gerald. Oh, you such a good man. You such a strong man. And I always admire that about you. And Shamea sitting up there looking stupid. Sitting up there looking stupid. The same woman just told you that your whole life can't revolve around this man is not in this man's face, telling him how wonderful he is and fake crying. You don't see it? You don't see the writing on the wall? Then now, her mama told her she can come home. And we saw in this scene, it looked like that was Shamea's first time hearing it. Because she was like, ooh, let me move because I ain't trying to take your child. That was Shamea's first time hearing it. So that gives me, you done profit this to your friend, like your friend, your bestie. Like, girl, I need somewhere to go. This man ain't helping me. I done lost this house. I'm in a bad spot. So she offered you her townhouse. and said you could just stay here because Shamea's like, this is one of the first investment properties she bought after getting married. Mm-hmm. Now, see, y'all look at what Lily say. Lily say Kelli can't compete with Shamea. Shamea's beautiful. Kelli better go somewhere quick and hurry up. Let me tell y'all something. I'm going to tell you for free. I'm gonna give you $1 million worth of game for free 99. Don't you ever underestimate an ugly woman. Put a 2 in the chat if you hear me, because I want to make sure y'all hearing me real good right now. Because some of y'all got some good husbands. Don't mess around and tear your house up. Hey, Maybelline Reynolds. I see a 2. Put them 2s. I want to make sure that you got 2 ears open. Open both of them. Don't you ever underestimate an ugly woman. See, sometimes as pretty women, and this channel, this is the front porch. And we get all the beautiful girls over here. And sometimes y'all can rest on your laurels. And so you got beauty. And you see a woman that looked like farting in church on Christmas. And I ain't got to worry about her. He would never look at her. Let me tell you something. I've lived long enough to know you don't put nothing past a man. And don't you ever believe just because a woman is sitting up there looking like, can't you help me, don't you try, that man won't lay up with her. I know too many girls that have been cheated on by women that don't look good enough to shine their shoe. Don't look good enough to lick the bottom of their shoe. And that man will go out there and cat around with something that look like it'll scare the sugar out of stalker cane. Look like it'll scare the red stripes off a got doggone candy cane. Don't you ever underestimate no ugly woman. Don't y'all realize an ugly woman will do extra credit? All the stuff that your pretty tail won't do, that ugly heifer sitting up pretending to be your friend, she listening. Like she sat there listening to Shamea complaining because her husband don't want her doing something. She's sitting there listening to her talk about what he want her to do and what he don't want her to do. That same ugly woman that you trusting, telling your business, letting in your house, having her around your man, she is listening, she learning. She will take her ugly tail to your husband. Snitch, tell all your business, add some lies in. Oh, she finds out that he wants you to sit home. Guess what she gonna tell him? I just wish I had somebody that would be a good husband to me, because I'd be happy to sit home and cook and see about children. I don't even like to go out. I don't like to go clubbing. I don't really like to wear tight clothes and all that. I prefer, I'm more conservative. They will go there and use everything they find out about your marriage to offer him everything that they know you ain't willing to offer. I have seen women lose their husbands to ugly women. Don't y'all trust and be underestimating these ugly women. They will tear your whole house up. They will tear your whole home up and have your children calling her ugly tail stepmama. Yeah. Don't say I didn't tell you. Don't say I didn't tell you. They do extra credit. Even the money that man spent on you, they will go out their way to tell him they don't even need that much money. An ugly woman will go out there, fix his car, pay his child support, shine his shoes. That ugly heifer will be so dedicated to tearing up your house, she'll go clean a 40-pound bucket of chitlin every Saturday. If she find out that's what that man like to eat. Y'all better be careful around here. Shamea done moved that woman into her property. Now she got an excuse to come over there all the time. Hey, Cent 58. She got an excuse to come over there all the time. I don't care what nobody say, and you ain't gonna convince me or otherwise. Kelli is plotting on Shamea's marriage while she lying on Angela Oakley. She came for my marriage. While she lying on Porsha, she said something about my marriage. The person you calling bestie, that's the one that's zeroing in on your husband. You hear me, Lily? That's the one. That's the one. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, that's the one plotting. All she doing now is her recon. She doing all her reconnaissance. She listening to everything she can listen to. She learning everything about your house, how your house run, how that man spend money on you, how he treat you, and everything else. See, Sunshine, etc. say she was thinking they was lovers. No. But don't put it past her to go with you just so she can get your guard down so she can go with your husband. I know about a couple of them too. Shamea too stupid to see that Miss Piggy is plotting on your husband. Mm-hmm. She plotting on her husband. Guess to show us I'm black. And we sat up there seeing her mama telling her like, hey, I told you can come home. She up here making excuses. See, you closer to McDonough. And right, Lily, them movies be good too. You closer to McDonough and see this, I'm closer to Sandy Springs and this making up reasons. Cause it ain't had nothing to do with that. It ain't had nothing to do with that. And we wouldn't have never found out. Because when Shamea said what she said, Kelli subconsciously cut her eyes and looked over at her mama. See, she didn't plan for that to come out. I think she subconsciously looked over at her mama when Shamea said what she said, just happy to help or whatever, happy to be here to help you. She looked at her mama because I think she was afraid that her mama was going to pipe up and say, girl, she wasn't in no situation where if you didn't help her, she was going to be homeless. Because I told her she could come home. Kelli looked at her mama because subconsciously she was hoping her mama didn't say nothing and blow her cover. That's how we found out that her mama told her to come on home. Shamea better watch herself. While you plotting on everybody else, your bestie plotting on you. So then, y'all, let's get to Angela and her brother. Now, this scene here kind of took it out of me a little bit. So she sat down with her brother at the park and she had a little girl there. They let the baby go play and they sitting up there talking. I think they had a cute relationship. She said they real close and he the one taught her how to fight and, and call him a troublemaker. You know how siblings can be with each other. And said that they hadn't really seen each other since after their mama passed, which that can happen. Time get away from you. And she starts talking about how the children dealing with the mama being gone and, I think the little girl saying she, was adjusting, but was kind of having a little bit of a hard time because she's used to seeing her grandmama sitting there. And the little boy is like not really saying anything, but he's adjusting. And get this, y'all. She say the oldest girl taking it the hardest. Now, we got to talk about it, don't you? Now, that oldest gal, Amari, the little disrespectful one last season. Now, this season, we ain't seen her being disrespectful, but we saw just how disrespectful that little heifer can get last season. And so now she taking it the hardest. And to be honest, y'all, I'm not surprised because she didn't treat the granny right. Remember all that mess over a car because she wanted to use the car and, she went to acting ugly and my mama paid for everything here. Remember that now when she got into it with the grandmama and the auntie and, everything like that. And then the grandmama ended up telling Angela that the girl went and got married behind her back. Put a 1 in the chat if y'all remember all of that. And so when she said that this girl took it the hardest, I said, that's that guilt. That's that guilt. Yep, Adrienne Marie. Regret and that guilt. That's that guilt. Because, see, guilt will tear you up. Tracy Lashley, thank you for the Cash App, sis. That's my first and only supporter the whole night. I thank you, Tracy. I appreciate you. But let's talk about this thing, okay? Let's talk about it. Lil Amari is still got to remember, because it wasn't long after that lady passed. You showed your tail with your grandmama, and then she was gone. Lily say you right. I didn't like her because of how she talked about her grandmama. I didn't like her either. And I felt like she was disrespectful to her mother. I didn't like that either. And see, they used to tell us an humble child will taste grace, But, right, poetic lyrics, that's normally how that happens. So I was not surprised to hear that she's taking it the worst. And I took no pleasure in that because I'm a mother. I can't take pleasure in that. That's sad. It's very sad that she gonna have to go the rest of her life and remember that she was disrespectful to her grand. She didn't talk to her grand right. She didn't treat her grand right. You showed out and acted so ugly that your grandmama didn't even feel comfortable staying in the house that your mama bought her. Her and the auntie jumped up and went and bought a house behind your mama's back to get out of that property because you made them feel so low for living in a house that your mama provided for her own mama. She got to live with that for the rest of her life. And right, Adrian Marie, the fact that the grandmama passed and came so sudden, you didn't even have time to go and try to make that right. At least try to make your heart feel right. Like, hey, Gran, I was wrong. I'm sorry. You didn't get a chance to do that because she was so prideful and so bigoted, and she felt like she had a right to be acting like she was acting with her Gran, and now Gran is gone, and finding out that she taking it the hardest. I said, whoa, mm-mm. I'm sorry to hear that, but I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. You got to be careful how you treat folks. You don't know how long you got them, especially after folks get old. You don't know how long you have them. So even when they're not exactly right, try to hold yourself together, because you got to live with however it ends. You got to live with it. And so that young lady's having a hard time. Angela says she be trying to avoid thinking about it or whatever, and it feels unfair. And she says that she gets to where she can't, she just can't stop crying. She's still crying. And I understand. And like I said, this part of the show is a little triggering for me because, I'm a little orphan Annie, and both my parents gone. Um, so I know that feeling. And unfortunately, during the time of filming, this was about a year, the anniversary of the passing of her mama. And I feel for her. But one thing I will say is it doesn't get any better. We get stronger, but it doesn't get any better. And no matter how long it is after the fact, you're going to always have moments where you still miss your mama. Or in my case, you miss your mama and your daddy. So I really felt bad for her. That scene was a little triggering, just a little. They moved on past that and started talking about, hey, Rochelle, thank you for being 149, about the fact that she's married, but the siblings don't know that woman is supposed to be her wife. They think that that's the mama's best friend. And so, of course, her brother was like, well, you got to tell them children something. You can't just have them, not understanding things and just giving them give them information so they understand what they're looking at. And Angela says that, Amari's close to her siblings, and she gonna leave that for her to explain. And this is one time I agree with Angela. Hey, Divine, thank you for being 150. This is one time I agree with Angela. The right thing to do is to let Amari work that out, because this is Amari's mess. Amari went and married that woman behind everybody back. Now you having to tell your younger siblings that's your best friend. They do not understand that you saying you married to a woman. And because you brought this person into their lives, and now you telling them tales about your best friend, that's up to you to straighten that out. Now you got to figure out how to go explain that to them and try to make it make sense. So this one time I agree with Angela. Adrian Marie said, yes, she got to trust that God forgives. Yes, she does. Yes, she does. It's one of them things. So then we get to Phaedra's office. And Kelli is over there to get some help. Now this scene here, it was a nice scene to watch. It definitely gave me, hey Gaby, it definitely gave me old RHOA vibes. Just the whole dynamic, not just being in the office, but the whole dynamic. And she's telling her about the filing, the emergency ex parte filing that she did, and let her know that she does want to do a filing for child support. And I think it's going to be a contempt motion that she's going to make, because that'll give him less time to respond. So she's doing some maneuvering for her. And Kelli want to talk about, her partner Quentin came in, and so they all were kind of, having a little parlay. And Kelli is still talking about she want to film with her daughters, and she's very concerned that she can't film with her daughters. And Phaedra says she'll help her, because she's been in that spot before. And then basically they got to get the judge to see her side, that, she wants to be seen as a mother, and it's prohibiting her from being seen as a mother on a reality show where she's supposed to be showing her life and whatnot. And Kelli's like, yeah, because if you don't want me to show my life, don't do certain stuff, then I won't have to be showing it to people or whatever, however she worded it. And what really got me was in that moment, it was We got to talk about what happened in that moment. Phaedra was empathizing and identifying with her and connecting with her and told her, you know, I've been there, I've been through it, and I'm going to do this as a gift to you. And it was the look on Kelli's face. It was the look of she looked like she wanted to cry. She was completely surprised. She was taken aback. And in that moment, I said, you know what? Phaedra got her faults, but she good people. Regardless of whatever jacket people want to put on her, she good people. And if for no other reason, Kelli done called this lady all out her name. Phaedra's fully aware of it. Fully aware that you done called her all out of her name. And yet and still, she's in the confessional and with you talking and letting you know, I got you. Because I know you can't afford to do it. I got you. What you need done, I got you. Phaedra went so far as to tell a girl when I went to law school, it wasn't all about the money. It wasn't always all about the money. And she was in the confessional talking like she know what it is to pay astronomical legal fees fighting a battle. And see, that man could have outlasted her indefinitely because she's struggling and it don't look like he is. And so for me, it was wild to sit there and watch you calling this lady all out her name. Right, Lily? She looked like she wanted to cry. And she ought to be shamed to death. Is what she ought to be. You done call this lady out her name. You done said all kind of stuff. She know you done said the stuff about her. And you got to feel lower than a dog to know that you mistreated somebody. And this person is aware that you mistreated them. And they still willing to show you kindness when you don't deserve it. That is a good person. That's somebody who realized, hey, everybody ain't perfect, but you in trouble and you need help. That's a good person. But it says a lot about Kelli's character too. Lily say good people and intelligent. The core is that gospel upbringing. Oh yeah. That foundation is everything. Those of us that was raised by God-fearing women, we got something that governs us that other people don't quite understand sometimes. That don't mean we don't go, backslide or go sideways or get a little wild. But that foundation is that foundation. And that foundation is what saved Kelli's neck, because she ain't got it. She ain't got it at all. And so she in the confessional, oh, I appreciate Shamea and Phaedra and what they doing for me. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. And it says a lot about your character. In that moment, that look on her face that was her realization face. That was her realization face. I ain't been nothing right to this lady at all. And she's still extending me that type of grace, understanding, and support. If Kelli was worth her salt, which we know she ain't, but if Kelli was worth her salt in that moment, she would have been convicted to say, Phaedra, I know I ain't done right by you. I know I ain't been right to you at all. I know I've said things about you I ain't had no business because I'm mad with Porsha. I got a problem with this one, that. I ain't did right by you. I don't even deserve how kind you being to me, but I got to apologize. I got to apologize for every foul thing ever came out my mouth towards you. Now that's what a woman would do. But that little scoundrel midget, that midget scoundrel, she ain't got nothing right in her. That said everything to me about her character. I said right then, I didn't misjudge you at all. I saw exactly what you were, and you just proved me right. Because the fact that you could sit there and you were so taken aback by the kindness extended to you by somebody that you done badmouthed, lied on, and maligned. And you weren't even convicted to say, you know what, Phaedra, I ain't been right to you at all. I'm sorry, girl. The fact that she couldn't do that, I didn't misjudge her. She is exactly the trash I thought she was. Kelli is exactly the trash I thought she was. You can't tell me at all that you mistreat somebody. It ain't no secret. They know what you done. And they still being kind to you, and you ain't convicted to say, I am so sorry. That ain't no woman. That ain't no woman. That's trash. So then we got to move on to Pinky and her friend and the husband or whatever. And I'm going to tell y'all, I got this many notes. I got one line. Pinky business talk with friends dry. Pinky business talk with friends dry. Because that's what it was. It was dry. It was unprovoked dryness for no reason. Oh, my husband, he's successful. I want him to see me as this, and I'm a that, and he'll help me, but I don't need it. Girl, how many times we gonna hear that over and over again, Pinky? At this point, are you trying to convince us or yourself? I literally have one line: Pinky business talk with friends dry. I couldn't muster anything else. I couldn't even tune in to the conversation well enough to map it out. There was nothing said that was noteworthy. I promise you, that's what's on my notes. That's what's there. Yep, old Ted talk, stanky cold. Deborah Randall says last season Kelli was Big Bank Hank, and now she broke as a joke. And plotting on another woman husband. That's what she is, and that's what she doing. So then we gets Porsha and Phaedra. They on their way to Drew house. Okay. So they start talking about Porsha's dating life, and they got to make an off color joke. They got to make an old blue joke. They call her going with the man and the woman surfing turf. I said, Lord. Phaedra said that. You just don't ever know what's gonna come out Phaedra's mouth. Bianca said the question is, why is she trying so hard to do this without her husband? I wonder what's behind all this. Is given he can't bail her out like she pretending she can. Like she pretending he can. Shakuru, hey boo. Lady Rose said Kelli was stalking her neighbor. I don't know. I don't know her, not a neighbor. I know the neighbor told her story, now she telling hers. And I don't know. I ain't got nothing on it. So they talked about that. Then they arrive at Drew house. Phaedra talking about, well, we get over here, we know Ralph is in the basement, because he was in the basement at that time. That man got his house back now. But she said her man went back to Angela. She's like, and I really want to know if what Angela said was right, and Pinky do have a sister wife in the basement. I think we would all like to know. Will we ever know? Probably not. But we would all like to know. So Cynthia and Angela show up there, whatever. They all sitting there. Drew put some food out, and they all sitting up talking and eating, being normal, which is nice. Ooh, y'all see what Pink Pilates Princess has said in the chat? She said Kelli making a move on her husband while the cameras are rolling just further solidifies the rumors about her sleeping with the married men. Because I see what she doing. But listen, so they all sitting up there talking. Drew got the food out there eating and stuff. Phaedra joking and gonna tell Drew, well, y'all, let's wait a minute, because I invited K. Michelle. You could have heard a rat piss on cotton. Drew looked like she swallowed a whole egg shell and all. And Phaedra was like, I'm just joking. But it was so funny. That was good comic relief. Porsha fills them in on the whole national anthem of a thing, and saying Drew was trying to preserve her voice so she could go sing, and that they was trying to get her to talk, that Shamea and Pinky was trying to make her talk so they could, take a voice from her, so they say. I've never heard of that. When I was younger, I sang a lot, and I ran my mouth a lot like I do now. I have never, my voice never suffered because I talked. It was just, it was a lot. It was weird. That was a weird accusation. But anyway, so she starts talking about that and telling them about, what Pinky had invited her or told her about the project she was working on about her life, and Naturi is going to play her. Phaedra crazy because she thinks she looked like Naturi Houghton. She say people tell her she looked like Naturi all the time. Maybe their height. I don't know. Cynthia crazy. She say, nah, you look like Naturi Houghton. She say, the old Phaedra or the new Phaedra? Which one of y'all look like Naturi? Because I don't know. I don't see it. I think Phaedra's a nice looking lady. I think Naturi is a nice looking lady. But to me, Naturi Houghton and Phaedra don't even look like they could be cousins. What you talking about? Okay? Dr. Lily says she heard Beyonce say that before. Well, we know Drew is not Beyonce. Drew's not Beyonce. Drew's doing some regular degular vanilla singing. Regular degular. You don't need to preserve your voice for that regular degular that she was doing. We can't put her in the same conversation with Beyonce. Beyonce be over there singing up into the rafters. She does so much technical singing. She plays with the notes. We ain't even gonna talk about the runs. Yes, you preserve that. Drew up his regular degular. Regular degular. There was nothing to preserve. Nothing at all. Nothing at all. Mm-mm. No. They was putting 20 on 10. They was putting 20 on 10 with that. Mm-hmm. Lord. Tia Jones say, I remember Kenya Moore saying she was Beyonce because she was in a Jay-Z music video. She said I remember Kenya saying people told her she looked like Beyonce, and she was lying too. She was lying too. Evie say Drew voice is barely making it. She can't afford any strain. But the song, what was the strain? What was the strain? She barely sung that thing. It wasn't terrible, but it was like, mm. I mean, it was a tune. She carried a tune. Mm. It was nothing to preserve. It was nothing. Just absolutely nothing. But anyway, so they talked about that, and we got Phaedra's delusion about looking like Naturi, and I said, well, at least somebody want to look like Naturi, because we saw Lil Kim act a fool about Naturi playing her. And so they talked about that for a little while, and then Drew tells them that while they were at the thing, which we didn't see that part, but production did play it where they were trying to talk. She said that Shamea wanted to talk about Porsha. What I saw that production played back, it didn't look like Shamea was trying to talk about Porsha. She was saying, I don't really have a problem with Drew at all. I don't have no problem with Drew. And Drew, in my opinion, was trying to swing it to Porsha. I caught a stray because, I was beefing with your friend last season or whatever like that. I didn't see Shamea bringing up Porsha. It was definitely Drew bringing up Porsha because she was trying to call out the fact, basically, that Shamea lying. You do have a problem with me, and it started from last season. But that's typical. That's typical. Then you get Cynthia telling Porsha about, hey, she came to my house, and I did ask about why she didn't invite you, and she brings up the text messages to let Porsha know she's still talking about these text messages that we heard about in episode 1 that Shamea tried to get Kelli to introduce to the show. That's true, Bap. Drew do be lying. And Porsha shut it down. Y'all remember that in episode 1 when she told her, you're trying to antagonize me. Anything between me and Shamea is between me and Shamea. I'm not going to discuss text messages with you. Put a 3 in the chat if y'all remember that from episode 1. And so, for Porsha, I can see the irritation on her face when she hears from Cynthia that Shamea is still trying to bring these text messages back into a conversation, and she's not going to do it. So Porsha said, basically, I'm not going to be defending no text messages that didn't happen on the screen. It didn't happen on camera. It didn't happen during the season. I'm not finna be on camera defending text messages that didn't happen during the season. What the hell? Y'all had words as friends off camera because y'all really know each other. She don't want to hear about that, and I'm not mad at her because anything I said I meant, and we gonna stick to it. Now, can I apologize for how I expressed something, or if I hurt your feelings with something? Absolutely. But what you said, you meant. Whatever you said to her, you meant. What she said to you, she meant. I don't know why Shamea keep dancing around these text messages. Girl, it's never coming into the conversation. It's never going to be a thing. Porsha's never going to give it to you. Let it go. Hey, Susan Bibbs. Let it go. LIG it. But, Shamea just can't. But Porsha shut it down. Then Drew tells them about sitting down with Kay and Shamea and what happened with that. And that they both got up and left her there with her lemon drop. So she said she'll never try meeting up with them two again. Which, it was stupid to meet up with them the first time. I don't know what the hell Drew was thinking. Neither one of them women don't like you. So what were you even doing? One trying to conjure up a beef with you out of thin air, and you got Shamea who don't like you, and you know why she don't like you, because she tried to get you and Angela to join the alliance to dogpile on Porsha last season while she was going through her divorce, and you and Angela didn't do it. Instead, y'all went and exposed all her stuff to Porsha to let Porsha know this girl got a problem with you. Simple, right? Girl, I ain't gonna forget you, Susan. Yeah. So that's what had happened. So never again. Porsha tells Drew basically, because Drew decides she gonna give Porsha a rainbow cake, talking about, because you dating women now. So Porsha shady tail say, okay, I split it with you. I eat half, you eat half, cause she telling her you over here going with women too. And now I was tickled at that. I say, now that's some good old fashioned shade. You bringing her a rainbow cake, trying to make it a moment like, her whole personality is all about dating a woman. Y'all know Porsha. It ain't like you just getting to know her and she done made that her whole personality. She didn't. So you bringing her the rainbow cake, trying to be, you know, shady and a mess. Porsha ain't make it no better, no worse. She say, that's okay. I eat half, you eat the other half. Because we already saw them pictures of Drew with Ty, the same Ty that was going with Mimi, Stevie J, baby mama. And how Ty was over there licking on her neck like an oxtail bone. And I'm going to say it every single time because how dare you? You know, hey, Latrice Dudley, how dare you sit up there and talk about you handing her a piece of rainbow cake when we know that you sat on that phone with Mimi for hours, not Mimi with Ty for hours. Ty up there arguing with her other girlfriend because you on the phone with her. Y'all shopping together. Y'all taking car trips together. She taking pictures of you laying up in the car with the seat reclined while you sleeping. She driving. It's pictures of her licking all in your neck and collarbone and stuff. But you bringing a rainbow cake to Porsha, girl. You should have had a whole piece to yourself, a whole piece to yourself, because you was still married to that man and you out there got that woman licking on you like a Tootsie Pop, trying to get to the center. So I thought it was that shade was duly noted and it was right on time. I split it with you. I split it with you. Thank you for being 159. Trees, I appreciate you, baby. Mm-hmm. Oh yes. So I said, yeah, that was right on time. And then they all of them, continued to have a good time. Drew took the rainbow cake as she should. Eat the rainbow cake, eat the cake anime, cause somebody either been eating your cake or you been eating theirs. So go on eat the cake. And then all of them went back to playing, having a good time, and joking about inviting Ralph up to come see them at the table. Now this last scene, well not the last scene, but the last scene with all the women was Pinky's skating party, 80s style. And I thought that was really neat. It was nice to see the ladies dressed for the theme. The only two people that did not look on theme was Kelli and K. Michelle. I don't know what the hell they had on, but it was not 80s wear. Okay, they didn't even try. Lily say Drew needs to live in her truth. I know Porsha is with that woman now, but I just can't see her staying in that relationship. I mean, she grown. She grown. I hope she, figure out something, do something, whatever. But she grown. Hey, you can't tell grown people what to do. And, she got to figure it out, right? But so they all out there in their 80s wear at the party. Pinky put on a purple wig. And we saw the leotards, the neon colors. We saw the metallic tights. We saw the big hair. We saw headbands, sweatbands. We saw it all. It was really, really nice to see the leotards and the neon colors was everything. Porsha talking about she was trying to be like Whitney Houston back in the 80s, want to dance with somebody. Everybody was really cute. Even Shamea managed to get it. And I was not surprised because Shamea dressed like it's the 80s every day anyway, with them big shoulder pads, dressing like Elvis Presley and all that. Shamea gives 80s. It's like she got stuck there, and I know she didn't. But it's I'm just saying I wasn't shocked that Shamea was managed to get the 80s look spot on. She was able to get that one spot on. So shout out to her, right? So everybody there, they having a good time. Like I say, Kelli and K. Michelle, not on point, not shocked. Drew's assistant want her to start dating, so he done introduced her to a man. When Pinky was there, and when she invited her to come to the skating party, the man that the assistant had invited her to meet was there too. So she invited the man too. It looked like the man was at the skating party. I said, oh, this is good, messy. And he actually showed up. Mm. Lord, Pink Pilates Princess say Shamea tends to twin with her mom. Maybe that's why she wear them, them outdated looks and stuff and be looking crazy. Maybe she is trying to dress like a mama. Or maybe she just picked up her mama's style along the way. Sometimes girls do that. Maybe that's what it is. You might be on to something. But so that was there. Then it was the anniversary of Angela's mama passing. So we see Porsha come and give Angela a present, and it was a beautiful portrait, nice frame that she had, a nice frame portrait of Angela's mama that she gave her. Pinky gave us some flowers. We find out that Shamea sent her some flowers, and she did thank Shamea. So I thought that was really nice. And she didn't mention what Phaedra did, but whatever it was enough for her to tell Phaedra, I appreciate what you did for me when mama passed. So I thought that was really, 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 really sweet that everybody was there and being supportive and getting her through that. Because that's a tough spot to get through. And it was nice to see that. That really gave old RHOA vibes. It gave, when to drop the mess. Because that was not a night to be messy. And from what I could see, it was not a messy night. Everybody looked like they had a wonderful time. Bab said it made her feel feelings. It was nice to see. It was. It was definitely nice to see that. So everybody out there just skating, they having a good time, they juking. We seen K Michelle and Phaedra get the little guards that look like walkers to help them out there on the rink because they not skaters like that. Porsha had to help K Michelle because she couldn't stop herself. So she had to put in a bear hug to stop her because she was finna, float off into the wild blue yonder. Looked like everybody really genuinely had a good time. And I thought that was wonderful to see. I enjoyed seeing that. I don't like everything don't have to be mess. Everything don't have to be looking for a moment, looking for your opportunity to argue with somebody, looking for an opportunity to use your rehearsed reads. It just wasn't, it was just nice to see them have a good time and not do that. Okay. So that was really cute. Now this final scene at Porsha's house. Mm, mm, mm. Y'all, this final scene at Porsha's house, I think Porsha did good. I think she did good. Lily, you say you'll need one of them to skate too. Girl, I believe I can still get down. I believe I still got it. Bad knees and all. But she at the house, she was organizing stuff and moving wigs around or whatever. And look at Peanut. And Dennis shows up. Dennis shows up and kind of interrupts them with what they doing. And she greeted him. It was pleasant, because she ain't had no idea what was coming. And so they go outside and they sit down or whatever. And he up there talking about, oh, you got your red hair. I know what that means. She was like, it's not red, it's pink. Okay, because it was pink because they had the little 80s party, but you clocking her like she gotta explain herself to you. And I've been noticing that with Dennis. Dennis act like Portia's supposed to be hiding from him, or she's got to listen to his critiques or his, or like he's somehow justified to have something to say about her dating life, which is like horrendously ridiculous to me. Who the hell are you exactly? Right? Oh, nice flowers. Oh, he doing his thing. Like, would you go sit down somewhere? She's allowed to get flowers. She's a single woman. She can date. She can date. And when you're dating men or whoever, that you're supposed to get flowers. Right, Peanut. He wants some kind of ownership of her. You don't own that woman. You don't own that woman. You ain't even got no papers on her. You could have had papers, but you was too busy cheating on her while she was pregnant. Okay? Now, that's just what that is. Hey, Terry McCauley. No, he don't get no day and no now Terry talking about Dennis the baby father, so he get a say in her dating life. No, the hell he don't. Baby father is not a title. Let me say this again because I want to make sure anybody who need to hear this in their spirit get it. Hey Queena, baby daddy, baby mama is not a title. When you want a title, you do the right thing. You get a ring and a contract. You go stand up in front of the preacher or the judge and you become wife or husband. Then you get a say. You don't have a say as a baby daddy because all you did was make her a single mama. All you did. was have her giving birth to an illegitimate child. That does not give you status. If anything, you disgrace that girl, that she lived that long and didn't have any illegitimate children, but you went and made her the mother of an illegitimate child. That is not a title. No, because she dating and she told him this evening, Pilar hadn't met nobody. Pilar hadn't met nobody. And at the end of the day, eventually, unmarried people are going to date. And if they have children, they're going to meet the person that they date. And if you want to have a say in who's around your child as a man, I advise you to marry that woman, put her in your house before you start putting beans in her oven. Because if she's single, you're going to have to trust her judgment in who she chooses to date and eventually marry, since you weren't decent enough to do so. Because let's be very clear. That is an action of irresponsible reproduction. When a man is out here slanging his Peter whacker left, right, and center, and he making children instead of being intentional as he claimed, and you go and marry a woman and you take care of her and you husband her and you house her and you protect her and you provide for her, and then you go to putting beans in the oven, now you very much have a say and control over who's around your child, because that woman is under your covering, and so are the children. But when you go out there as a man and you're irresponsibly reproducing, and now she has to go and date and find candidates who are suitable to be husbands, now you're just going to have to trust her judgment, because she want to be up under somebody's covering since it wasn't yours. Dennis ain't got a right to nothing. He got a right to go to hell if he don't pray. Now that's what he got a right to do. And look like he found that out this evening. So he's sitting up in there being ignorant, pot-bellied, and musty as usual, and coming to cry about culture con. Now the young man that she dating saying, well, you know, he didn't really like what was said or whatever, made him feel a certain type of way. Okay, she's dating him, actively dating him. If the woman she dating had something to say, she's actively dating this person. So you can say you feel a way, like you just mentioned that we was dating and you said it so casual, or however they felt. Dennis, you not even in the mix. She ain't dating you. You ain't a candidate for baptism and nothing else. So what you coming over there to cry about what she said at Culture Con, and you need to slow down? Slow down for what and for who? Slow down for what and for who? Single people date. If you didn't want her dating, you shouldn't have left her single. See how that works? So she like, I'm just dating. And he talking about bring it. He gonna confuse my daughter and have around Pilar. How she confused and she hadn't met nobody? And Porsha told him, ain't nobody been around Pilar. Pilar ain't met none of them people. But she got a right to date. Who you think you are? Right, Peanut, he just a philandering womanizer. A useless, unattractive, pot-bellied philandering womanizer. That's what he is. So, anyway, they sat there and he talking about, well, you know, I'm just saying, I waited on this thing with you and Simon to be over because I knew it wasn't gonna last. And so she was like, you doing a countdown on my marriage. You know, that's not nice. You know, you shouldn't have done that. And so, you know, he was like, she basically was like, well, you know, hey, I met somebody in December and then I got into a marriage. And you kept saying it's too quick or whatever. And he was like, yeah, yeah. And now look. And she said, look at what? He said, it was quick and now it's done. And she said, well, you was quick and you done too. I said, well, come on, Porsha. Come on. And I appreciated that she let him walk into that and actually let that refuse come out his mouth before she let him know. You was just as quick and you just as done. You're just as done, right? So the nerve of him, and so what is given is that he got an attitude because he felt like, well, once she finished with Simon, I was supposed to be able to just jump back in there. And instead of that, you know, you can't jump back in. She's dating other people. You are not a candidate. And I appreciated that too. And at one point during this whole exchange in the confessional, she said in a perfect world, it would be great, because why wouldn't it? Most women in a perfect world would like to have the father of the child as the husband in the home and have a nuclear family. Because we know Porsha came from a nuclear family until her daddy decided to be a philandering womanizer, cheat on Diane, and go get babies with Lauren's mama. hoeing around. So naturally, she would want a nuclear family because she was born into that. Because that's the normal order of things. But like she said, she don't want her child in no home seeing toxicity and seeing them fighting and bickering. She don't want her child seeing that. And she also said that she would never confuse her child or have her in the house with the daddy like, oh, we gonna be a family, and then have to see him be put out. She don't want him there and then I gotta get rid of you because it ain't working, because it ain't gonna work. And I appreciate her being responsible and being real with herself and being honest about the fact that optimally that would be the ideal, but it just ain't gonna be the thing. Okay? That's just what it is. Now, Lily say he got a gal living with him, but at her house wanting to get back with Porsha, back in Portia's bed. That's what it is. He want to go back to hunching. He still don't want to do the right thing. Peanut say Negroes think a baby keep them forever available for relations and or relationship. He's a dysfunctional piece of trash and probably get it from his mammy. Well, judging by Shirley's wigs, that's exactly where he get it from. So they went through that little conversation or whatever, and he talking about, well, I was intentional with you. And Porsha said, no, I was intentional. You were not intentional. I was intentional. And so she ran down the list with him and said, and he's sitting there talking about something that this is painful for him. And I was perplexed, y'all. Painful for you? What was painful? What exactly was painful? What's painful? It's painful because you cheated on a woman while she was pregnant and she walked away? Is it painful because she gave you a second chance and you still couldn't get right, and so now the door is permanently closed? What's painful? That she dated and married, and she's dating again and will likely marry again. So what exactly is painful for you? Where's the pain coming from, Dennis? The consequences of your actions? Is the pain coming from you thought that there would be no consequences? Did the pain come from the fact that because you make money, you thought that she would just stay there with you and just suffer and allow you to do all kind of emotional and emotional abuse and whatnot? Like, what is painful to him? I was so confused. I'm like, what are you, pain? You in labor? I mean, we see your stomach. You need to push? You dilated? Where is the pain coming from? He threw me off with the pain, child. I said, not the pain, Jesus. The pain? Okay. So then he brings out the ring trying to do emotional damage to the girl. Okay. What Peanut I had to ask. I mean, he got that big old belly. He said he was hurting. He was wrapped back in the seat, breathing heavy. He could have learned that from Lamar's class or something. I don't know. Could be. It's possible. But he gonna bring the ring out where, I kept this, but I can't do nothing with it. So here it's yours. And Porsha was stunned. She looked, and then this look of disgust and anger and everything came across her face, and she threw it at him, told him, how dare you? Because, right, how dare you? So you bring the ring over there to try to pluck at her heartstrings and play emotion, and like I said, trying to do maximum emotional damage to her. And it was, the manipulation was for her to break down so you could try to clean up and pick up the pieces, and then you could probably try to get back in her drawers, is what you was after. Piece of trash. Child, Porsha told him all about his behind. Throw the ring at him, told him off, told him, you are the trauma. You ain't the drama, you the trauma. And he was sitting there smirking for a minute like he thought he was being cute. Talking about, you about to cry? She said, no, I don't cry. I said, okay, yep, tell him about his tail, baby. Hey, Rachel, the sweetest thing. Thank you for being 166. Baby, she let him have it. Told him, you keep that and give it to Pilar. I don't want it. Baby, not only did she threw the ring at him. Told him to keep it and give it to Pilar because that ain't got nothing to do with her. She then escorted his tired, trifling, short, big titty having tail to the door. To the door. Peanut say the symbol of all his broken promises. How dare you? The nerve of you. You piece of trash, you. I was actually proud of Porsha. I was actually proud of her in that moment. Walk that pregnant woman to the door. Walk that pregnant woman to the door. Don't let her slip and fall. Cause see, then they could sue you. Something happened to the baby. Get that woman out your house. Walked into the door and told, but before she walked into the door, she was like, see, you trying to play games, trying to manipulate. She said, what you not gonna do is sit up in my house and casually cross your little tight jeans. I say, not your tight pants. She told me you gonna casually cross your tight pants. And I said, Dennis, you bold. You bold to be shaped like Humpty Dumpty and wearing tight pants, baby. And she said, you ain't gonna sit up here and casually cross your little tight pants and hand me no ring that's with all this mess attached to it. Walked him to the door, told him that was mean as F, it's messed up and it's triggering. And he was like, so it messed up. Yeah, it's messed up. Put his funky tail up out of there. Now, she did let more emotion show once he was at the door. Yeah, them ankle huggers, them ankle hugging pants he had on. I say, the nerve of you, Dennis. The nerve of you. Literally looked like you sat on a wall and had a great fall with tight pants on and a turban tied around your head like you want to be Nick Cannon, and you gonna reach across your titties to hand somebody a ring. Oh, he got too much nerve. He got too much nerve for me. I was real proud of her for how she put him out. Poetic Lyrics say, I'm so shocked I'm not even spelling correctly. Peanut say he was hoping it was going to manipulate her in a positive way for him. Definitely blew up in his face like a hand grenade with the pen missing. Because you could tell he was in shock when she was ushering him to that door. Because she ushered him to that door. Yes, she did. Ushered him to the door. Because he got a lot of nerve. But see, a lot of people, yes, he reached across his titties. He reached across them titties was in the way. He reached right across them titties and handed her that ring. I seen him do it. Mm-hmm. And he didn't deserve to see her tears. I was so proud of her. She said, I ain't crying because I don't cry. I said, I know that's right. Not for no man. Not for no man. Honey, he was so shocked when she was walking him to that door. She was so shocked. He was shocked when she was walking him to that door. You gonna get up out of him. And I wasn't mad at it. I want to see what come next. Because you was a co-parent. You had an opportunity to be a husband. And you failed miserably. Miserably. Your mama ain't raised you to be nothing. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Now you managed to make some money. And that's your claim to fame. And you better hold on to it. Because you don't look like nothing either. You're going to need every dollar you got and some you ain't. But as far as being a man, Shirley ain't raised him for nothing. Nothing at all. Shirley ought to be ashamed of herself that's your boy. Yep, low down scum with a couple dollars. That's what he is. No, Dennis don't respect women. Look at his mammy. Look at the mammy. No, he don't respect women. And you can tell by the way the mammy uphold him in all his mess that she has encouraged him to not respect women. The mama sit up there and treat the women that he date and plan to marry like they competition. The girl that your son is getting ready to marry is not your competition. That's the girl taking your workload. You supposed to be nice to them girls. Because you need them. So you can go retire in peace. The girl that's finna marry your son, it's not on her to help him think. Because men ain't that smart. It's on her to make sure he eating stuff. Hey, human nature. It's on her to make sure he don't dress like 12 years a slave. It's on her to make sure that he being, responsible in the house. Because he in the house with her and no longer you. But Shirley ain't that type of woman. His mama act like she is emotionally incestuous with him. And when Porsha was dating that man, she act like Porsha was her competition. Which is stupid. The way her son looked, Shirley should have been happy that her son, looking like he looking, could manage to get a girl that looked like Porsha, had a couple of coins of her own, and came from a good family. She should have been happy. I'd have handed that Negro over. I'd have put a bow on top of his head like he was a Christmas present and my foot in the small of his back, pushing him out the door to her. But not Shirley. And that's why her son ain't no good right now. Okay? Poetic Lyrics say he always been a weirdo. He has. Human Nature say, I realized how weird his mama was on Porsche reality show. Was. Even say she was definitely exposed on Porsha's show. Oh yes. Oh yes. She ain't no good. Tia say mama probably single, or maybe Dennis' father did her the same way. Probably so. Probably so. And when women been treated like that, them weird, emotionally incestuous women like that, they try to make the son play the part of a husband, and they don't want to see their son treat a woman better than their daddy's treated them. If his daddy did me like that, I'm not going to sit here and watch him treat you better than the daddy treated me. And that's what a lot of them do. And if there's any women listening to me that's acting like that, cut that mess out. Cut that mess out, because ain't nothing cute about your son being single in his 50s and won't nobody marry him. That ain't cute. And that don't make you look good as a woman. Because why is your son unmarriable? Why is your son not marriageable? Why? Any women listening to me, if you've been acting like that, doing that type of stuff, cut it out. Hey, Cassandra Antoinette, say, didn't they say Dennis was messing with animals? Tasha K said that. And I would never repeat it, because y'all know Tasha K will misplace the truth and hide it somewhere. Ain't nobody say that but Tasha K. Poetic Lyrics say her son is her man. That's how some of them women act, and y'all better cut that out. Cut that out. That's right, Gina. I be calling her Shirley because of how she look, but Gina, she sure does. But yeah, she's a trifling woman. She's a trifling, useless woman. But that is not a good look, ladies. Your son should not be in his 50s and not fit to marry. Your son should not be in his 40s and not fit to marry. He unmarried in his 40s and 50s. It doesn't make you look good at all. If you up here competing with the women your son married, stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Them boys supposed to leave to cleave. Leave our house and cleave to a woman. Get gone. Go cleave. Don't you got some cleaving to do? Get to cleaving. And his mama would not let the boy go and cleave. She was encouraging him to be trifling, acting like he the prize, instead of telling him, as a man, when you find a wife, you found a good thing. The wife is the prize. You got to find a good one. Instead, she up here encouraging him like he the prize. And so now he pulling stunts, like going to this girl's house, bringing out a ring that you bought her when you was telling a pack of lies. Why the hell would she want to see that? And the fact that you kept it. What did you think? She was going to divorce Simon, and you was going to bring her the same old tied ring that you done sat up there and spoke 100 lies over? Who want a lie ring? Who in the world want a lie ring? I don't know nobody want no lie ring. Human nature say some mamas have a hard time letting their sons go and never hold them accountable for their actions. Right, and they turn into trifling men. Like Dennis. Tia say, Dennis' mama probably want to keep Dennis' money to herself. Yeah. That too. But she just don't want him to treat no woman right, and she don't want him to have a healthy marriage. And it's probably because she don't have one. I'm just saying. Right, Adrian. Too many men think they the prize, and you ain't no prize. You ain't no prize. I don't care what your mammy told you. You ain't no prize. Okay? But listen, y'all, that's what happened on this episode. I need votes in the chat. I need votes in the chat. This episode, 1 to 10, what you giving it? Just for the camaraderie, the decency, the old school feels at the lawyer's office, the old school feels at the skating rink, all of that. I'm gonna be honest with you. Kiro TV said, who want a lie ring is sending me. It's the truth. I don't want no lie ring. I'm gonna say this. Me, I'm gonna give it a 7.5. No, 7.75. It's almost an 8. 1 to 10. I see some votes. I see 7. DS gave it a 6. Divine 7. Ooh, Auntie Eva gave him a 9. Cent 58 7. Lauren Brown 7.5. Poetic Lyrics say based off the review, she gonna give him an 8. Human Nature 7.5. So we all in the same neighborhood. Hey VJ, I really enjoy your commentary and love the episode. She gave him an 8. She gave him an 8. Tia Jones gave him a 7. Okay. Yeah, this season is pretty decent so far. It's got some things that we could probably do without, like the whole Loser Alliance. But overall, with all the seasons we've seen, On RHOA, this is by far not the worst at all. This is not even at the bottom. We have suffered through some terrible seasons of this show. Okay? This is a decent season. This episode, like I say, almost an 8 for me. Almost. I did like that there was some real moments. They really could have got an 8 or better for me if we didn't have those Pinky Cole scenes. I'm gonna be honest. If we could have nixed the Pinky Cole scene and put something else in there, I can promise you I would have got them to an 8. I would have got them to an 8. And I'm saying that sincerely because the Pinky Cole scenes give nothing. I have no notes to take. There's nothing I can do with a Pinky Cole scene. Because how many times can I write vegan bankruptcy? Right, sunshine, etc. She's forgettable. She's so forgettable. I don't know how many ways I can write vegan bankruptcy. I'm still not entirely sure what a vegan bankruptcy is. So I promise you, I don't know. I don't know too many different ways to write it. I don't know how many ways I can write the first black woman this, the first black woman that, the first black, when you the first Caribbean woman who's made it very clear that you got issues with black American women. With black women, you don't do black women like that. You're a Caribbean woman. But every time we turn around, first black woman, vegan bankruptcy, first black woman, vegan bankruptcy. I'm a boss, vegan bankruptcy. I don't know. I just don't know how many times and how many different ways I can write that. At this point, if they're going to keep her, make her a friend of, and please don't give her no scenes, no solo scenes. None. The children are adorable. You can show me them kids. But the rest of that, I can't do nothing with a vegan bankruptcy. Right, Deborah. It was way too much Pinky. It was too much Pinky Cole for an 8. It was too much Pinky Cole for an 8. I can't give you an 8 when you give me that much Pinky Cole. You can't give me that much and expect an 8. Okay, Adrian Marie said black Americans are past the first black already. Yeah, we passed all that. We passed all that. And coming in on the tail end trying to, do more erasure tactics, like, girl, no. No. The answer is no. We don't need any more erasure tactics. We've had enough. We've been dealing with erasure and disrespect and reclassification 100 different times, and we just not going to deal with it. Not from you or anybody like you. Enough is enough. VJ say the skating party didn't save her. No. The skating party was only good because it wasn't centered around her. If Pinky's in the scene with other women and the other women are talking, interacting, having fun, and being a focal point, then everything's great. But them scenes with Pinky by herself, absolutely not. Because if Pinky is by herself with her family, her team, her employees, or whoever, we gonna get a vegan bankruptcy. And I just don't want another one. I don't want another vegan bankruptcy. I don't. Tia Jones say, play something I don't like about Pinky. Oh, something I don't like about Pinky is she tried to tear other people down when it comes to money, but she's the one that's having money problems. Yeah, she's good for that. And that ain't all. I just can't go into no long conversations about her because I just find her to be abysmally boring. Painfully, abysmally boring. Chronically so. Lauren Brown said, I honestly don't think Pink's successful. She lost her business. They overpriced her business and sold it back to her. But everybody got to put on their front till the front don't hold. We saw Kelli Farrell last season. She, as y'all say, Big Bank Hank, she throwing parties for her dog. She hosting this, hosting that. She's buying her daughter's all designer bags. She acting like she really, big bad dollar bill. And just one season later, before the season even started filming. She was being sued for a $26,000 credit card, and now you done lost your house and living in Shamea townhouse because you didn't want to go back to your mama house because you plotting on that woman husband. So, when it comes to Pinky, to be continued. We'll see where it goes. We'll see where it goes. Sanji said in Kelli's defense, she might have apologized to Phaedra, and production being messy like they are might not have shown it. I think they would have. I don't think production was being messy and didn't show it. I think she didn't do it. Yeah, VJ. Now she's staying in Shamea townhouse. Because she over there plotting on Shamea's husband. And I believe it. I'm watching her play. I'm watching. Every little move she make, I'm watching her play. And while she making her moves, Shamea's so silly, she don't see her. She don't even see Kelli. While she trying to make people feel like that Angela jealous of her, Porsha jealous of her, girl, the person actually jealous of you is Kelli. The person closest to you is the one jealous of you. That's the one jealous of you. Because, see, you want to be out in the street, like Porsha out in the street. Angela don't want to be in the street. Angela perfectly happy to be home with her husband. Angela act like she could eat a link of Charles Mess. You the one got a wonderful life, but that ain't, you acting like that's not the life you want. You want to be a movie star. You want to be a hoochie mama. You want to show your booty cheeks like Porsha. You want to run the streets like Porsha. I don't see nobody being jealous of Shamea. I see Shamea not being content. That's what I see. Yes, a mess. Human Nature said, but Kelli acted weird when she went with Shamea to the fertility doctor. Her advice was strange. Yeah, it was strange because she was trying to talk her into going against her husband because she wants Shamea and her husband to have friction because she trying to get in the door. She telling Shamea to butt heads with the husband. Meanwhile, go to the husband's birthday party. Oh, you such a good man. You such a strong man. Any woman tell you stuff to make you butt heads with your husband and then turn around the exact same woman telling him how wonderful he is. You don't see that? She wants you beefing with him because she want to be his new friend. Oh, well. That's all I'm going to say. Oh, well. Right, Shamea not happy because of Shamea, because she has a nice husband from what we can see. We can't say for sure, but she seems like she has a very nice husband. I have nothing against Mr. Gerald. He seems like a very nice man. Okay. Hey, Belicious, thank you for being 172. So listen, y'all, that's it. We done reviewed it. We done covered it. We done dug into it. We done smacked it up, flipped it, and rubbed it down. And I'm finna get off of this live. I want to say a special thank you to Tracy Lashley, Lauren Brown. Thank y'all for supporting this live. I want to thank everybody for rolling with us through the technical difficulties when we were first trying to get started. I want to say a special thank you to everybody who commented, liked this video, showed love in the chat. I appreciate y'all. I thank y'all for my bubbles, and I appreciate you being here. So listen, as always, make sure you like this video, hit your notification button, click all so you'll know every time we go live on this channel. If you're in Discord, make sure you're in Discord because I do my best to make sure they know that I'm going live before anybody else, and the gossip hits there that doesn't even come to the live sometimes. So make sure you're in there. Subscribe if you have not subscribed already, because you know you like it here and we like having you here. So make sure you come back. If you want to join channel membership, there's a join button beneath the video, and I'm going to make sure that the membership link is in the description box, as well as the link for my book, Little Girl Big World. It is a survival guide for our girls who are leaving home for the first time. We have to make sure that our babies are safe. That is top priority. We have the link to our merchandise store so you can get your crown gear and represent for the royal family over here. We have the link to our Amazon storefront so you can shop for your home like I shop for mine, and my Amazon wish list in case y'all want to bless a girl with some more notebooks, pens, because you know we got to keep all of the story and the gossip straight. So listen, y'all, enjoy the rest of your evening. As always, good night, sweet dreams, say your prayers. When you get up tomorrow, remember to be positive and productive. Encourage the people around you and save some energy to encourage yourself. And remember, in case no one else says it to you, honey, God loves you. I love you. And there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. I will talk to y'all again as the gossip permits, okay? Bye, y'all.